Hello everybody, live on End here. Today we are doing another episode of our Extinction analysis series, and we are going to be analyzing one of the newest additions in the Awakening map, aka the Venom Grenade. Now if you want to know the difference between each of the Venom-X types, I don't really have any footage of them because, well, I never used the Venom-X or grenades for that matter. I attempted to build one in a game and then I honestly just didn't build it. But I do have a little bit of footage later on to show you of a Venom grenade thing that I found interesting. But aside from that, the difference between the three different types, you have the normal Venom-X, which is the, green acid goo, nasty green. I already said green, but yeah, you get the gist. It shoots acid. It gets coats them and they burn. And it has a pretty decent explosive damage. If they walk into the mist and walk out, they will still have the green stuff on them for a certain amount of time. The FX shoots a giant fireball like you're some sort of a mage or a wizard, and more or less is exactly the same as the normal Venom-X or the green Venom-X. And mainly because it's still the damage over time, the way it is applied is the same. It has an impact damage, and it has a damage over time. And it is applied in the exact same way, and that you just, they'll take the same, actually they'll burn for the same amount of time that they will have the acid coat them. And really the explosion damage itself is pretty much the same as it is on the FX. Now the LX is the one that is actually a little bit different than the normal and the FX. And that is that whenever they leave the radius of the Venom-X or Venom-LX shot, like right there, once they leave that radius, they stop taking damage, and there is very little initial damage. The explosion of the LX shot is very much less lethal compared to an FX shot or and whatever your normal one, the green one is. Yeah, so that one's gonna trip me up this entire video. I can already tell you that right now. But anyways, yes, the LX barely has any basic impact damage or explosion damage once it does go off. However, it does the most damage over time as long as the aliens stay in the lightning. If they leave the lightning in any way, which actually surprisingly makes this one of the weaker ones to use, then they just stop taking damage altogether, whereas the other two, they will continue to take damage. So I don't really know why they made the LX a little bit weaker compared to the other two. They're really not on the same playing field, I feel like, in that sense. But I am not the maker of this game, so I can't answer that question. But, however, I can answer the fact that the LX is the only one where two shots in the same place will stack in their damage over time. And that is because it's like I said, the damage over time is pretty much the only damage it does. And that's, I guess, maybe the advantage to the LX. You can put two LX shots in one place, and the damage over time will stack, whereas on any other Venom-X you shoot, the initial explosive damage both will count, but the actual damage over time effect applied will not stack. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to bring up a clip from one of my previous videos, the higher quality Incendiary ammo video, and I'm going to bring in this, and well, after I play this clip, I will go on and explain why I played this clip. The cool effect of actually having the Incendiary ammo period is that it applies to any explosive like a Semtex or a canister bomb. Yeah, I always forget those names. I want to call them pipe bombs for some reason. Which, it also affect the pipe bombs to Mayday. And also the sticky flares in Mayday, it would add fire damage to them. Bouncing Betties, it adds fire damage to them. So all of your explosives like that, none from launchers, but all of the throwable explosives, it actually adds fire damage to. And I swear, the day I recorded that video, I must have had about 2 or 3 cups of coffee right before I did it. Because I sounded very, very chipper, to say the least. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's more the fact it's like almost 3 o'clock, close to, 2-3 o'clock a.m. here right now. And I think I actually voiced that over during the day. Anyways, and now that exact same concept can be applied to these as well. Even though they are identical to Venom-X shots from the launchers, unlike the launchers, they will stack with your Engineer perk, which increases explosive damage, and Incendiary ammo. If you are running Incendiary ammo and you craft some of these grenades, they are extremely powerful. And especially if you're an Engineer, then they're even more powerful. But as you could see from that clip right there, it took a mammoth down full health into grenades. 2 lightning grenades with Incendiary ammo without the Engineer buff. That did not have the Engineer explosive upgrade. He killed it in 2. And you could clearly see it being set on fire. There is no question as to whether that mammoth was on fire or not. It just, yeah, it burned. So not only does it have the damage from your Venom-X, Venom-X grenade, which that could have been the normal one, which is the green one, yeah. So I told you that would trip me up, but like I said, any one, it's gonna stack and add fire damage with, and it makes all of them extremely powerful. Now here, something weird happened, because, I mean, let me rewind it for a second. Okay, starting right here, you can see perfectly right there. He's on fire. Now, the thing that confuses me is right afterwards he stopped, no more flame. And he never catches on fire again. Yet that mammoth clearly caught on fire the entire time. And in fact, you even hear the audio animation of him catching on fire again. Now, in that clip, it took 3 lightning grenades, or LX, whatever you want to call them, to kill a normal rhino. And in the other clip, it took 2 venom grenades when the fire was working to kill a mammoth, which of course has more health than a rhino. My guess is it has something to do with the fact that the Venom LX grenades they have a weird damage because they have a very barely an initial damage, whereas the other ones have a bigger initial damage. But even the lingering damage caused the flame to reappear in that. I mean, you could hear that clearly. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but I have the feeling that it has something to do with the fact that it is the LX grenade and not any of the others. Because I've never seen that happen with any other time I have, well, seen those used with Incendiary ammo. Now, I do need to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Mr. Unsubscribble, which is kind of a funny name considering he is not unsubscribed from me. But Unsubscribble, yes, he helped me test those venom grenades, and since I just for some reason cannot seem to ever make them, I just held the shield and let him throw the grenades. So, yes, thank you very much for helping me test that. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. It was a not the typical numbers type of analysis, because like I said, whenever those, just the way those are very, very hard to put a number on, and I don't really know a good way of putting numbers on those. So yeah, all I could do is really just show you the clips of those things on fire and those things not on fire, and really just explain what they did in comparison to the normal Venom-X shots. Anyway guys, this is Life On In here. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If you did, maybe you can check out one of my other videos. I've done quite a few of the armory upgrades, not every single one, but I have done quite a few. I always do a very, very in-depth analysis of them with lots of statistics, and of course tests to back up what my results are. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, then please do, because I mean that was one of the easiest ways for me to get help when I do need to test something, and that was actually one of the ways Mr. Unsubscribble there helped me with that test. I really needed his help. Well, I needed really anybody's help at that point, so I tweeted out, and I got him in, and we went in there, and we slayed some guys with those grenades. Okay, I gotta stop rambling. I do always do this at the end of my videos. It seems like every single time. Anyways, guys, this is Life On In here. You can see the clip there. I was trying to craft the Venom grenade. But I had that schematic from the very, very first. I don't really know why I never crafted the rest. Yeah. Don't judge me, okay? Anyways, this is life on in here. And I am out.
I was so focused on trying to get the dive bomber, I didn't realize I've been healed.